Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yanthan with evening news. The headlines. Protem Speaker Mhathung Yanthan calls meeting to finalise provisional programme for the first session of the 14th NLA. CANSSEA seeks scrapping of new pension scheme. Fast-track court in Dimapur sentences a man to 20 years rigorous imprisonment for rape of a minor girl. An additional Director General AIR and DT Northeast Zone, Ashish Bhatnagar, urges AIR Kohima to innovatively come out with power-packed programs. Now the news in detail. Protem Speaker of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, Mhathung Yanthan, has convened a meeting of the Business Advisory Committee on Thursday at noon. An official release stated that a meeting will finalise the provisional programme for the first session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, which is scheduled to commence from 20th of this month. Confederation of All Nagaland State Services Employees Association CANSSEA has appealed the state government to scrap the new National Pension Scheme NPS and restore the old pension scheme OPS. In a letter addressed to the State Chief Secretary today, CANSSEA sought a rollback to the OPS for employees registered with the Nagaland National Pension System Government Service Employees Forum. Terming the NPS as tyrannical and neoliberal policy, it claimed that a privatised pension scheme was disastrous to employees. The association, which has membership of around 40,000 employees, noted that states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Punjab and Rajasthan had already reverted to OPS. CANSSEA said its request was in line with a nationwide protest under the aegis of All India State Government Employees Federation, which is seeking annulment of the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Act 2013 among its 7-point charter of demands. A fast-track special court in Dimapur today sentenced a 33-year-old man to 20 years rigorous imprisonment for sexually assaulting a minor girl. The special judge of the court also handed down total fines of 30,000 rupees on the individual, a resident of Bank Colony Dimapur, after convicting him of offences punishable under various sections of the Indian Penal Code and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences (POCSO). The prosecution noted that the offence took place in 2021 at the residence of the convicted person when the victim was staying with the family of the accused. The court has recommended payment of 15,000 rupees from the fine amount to the victim and directed the Dimapur Legal Services Authority to initiate necessary steps to compensate the victim from the relevant government-sanctioned compensation scheme. Additional Director General ATG, Administration, Broadcasting Operation, AIR and DT in charge Northeast Zone, Ashish Bhatnagar, has called upon the employees of AIR Kohima to innovatively come out with power-packed programs so as to reach out to the listeners at large. He said this today during a welcoming program organized by AIR Kohima. The ADG said radio is a powerful medium and that he sees the power in the airwaves. Stating that the strength of radio lies in the happiness of the listeners, Bhatnagar impressed upon the employees to be the emanators of peace. Maintaining that Northeast region is much beyond culture, the ADG said Northeast region has a lot of wisdom that needs to be shared with the rest of the country. He said the region has the potential of becoming the guru of the country. To this, Bhatnagar urged the employees to start sharing about the good values, wisdom and tradition of Northeast region to the country. ADG Bhatnagar is honoured to the visit to Kohima. This news comes to you from All India Radio Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Union Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Zubin Irani today emphasized on transitioning women from small enterprises to enterprises that are mid-sized companies. Speaking at the Confederation of Indian Industry Partnership Summit 2023 in New Delhi, Irani said that Indian women are at the very fulcrum, not only of change, but at the very center of powerful transitions. The minister also disregarded the notion of women not being digitally empowered. She said that the pandemic has resolutely shown the women's capability in using digital services. In this regard, she lauded the 6 million women frontline healthcare workers for their work at the grassroots and efficiency in reporting every observation digitally. Irani stressed on creating an ecosystem where the skill sets of those women can be repurposed for the post-pandemic world. Chief Minister Nipirio today called on Union Minister of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Shantilya Giriraj Singhad, in New Delhi. In a tweet, Rio said they had a fruitful discussion on matters related to the upliftment of citizens and development of the state. Yesterday, Rio also visited Union Minister of Culture, Tourism and Donor, G. Kishan Reddy, where they had fruitful exchange of ideas for promotion of culture, tourism and socio-economic development of Nagaland. Deputy Commissioner Kohima Shanavasi has ordered proper barricading of construction sites in the city. In an order, the DC said it had been observed that a number of construction materials were left exposed in the open, which poses hazards to passers-by. The order said that debris, dust and noise from construction sites had created undesirable levels of noise and air pollution, and the exposed construction sites were degrading the aesthetics and hygiene of the city. Therefore, in the interest of public safety, the DC directed all owners to keep construction sites covered with green shade net, Darbulin or CGI sheets till the completion of the works. In view of the upcoming G20 Business Summit to be hosted by Nagaland, a coordination meeting was held under the chairmanship of the State Chief Secretary J. Alam yesterday in Kohima. The Chief Secretary called on the state government departments and all stakeholders to commit towards the success of the business summit. The House was informed that the G20 Business Summit will take place on 5th of April in the state capital, with expected participation of 80 to 100 delegates from various member countries. A state-level workshop for technology innovations, Technovation Nagaland 2023, was held today in Kohima. The event was hosted by Adal Incubation Center AIC, Selco Foundation and Sustainable Development Goal Coordination Center SDGCC of the Planning and Transformation Department. Addressing the event, Assistant Manager, Nagaland Tools Room and Training Center NTTC, Abalo Kepen, said NTTC had been involved in innovators in developing various types of technologies, including agri and allied services. Kepen said that with adequate state-of-the-art machinery, NTTC was committed to extend its services to all innovators. OSD Planning and SDG Nodal Officer Nayantara Sasikumar, in her keynote address, expressed delight on the sustainable innovations being initiated. She called on SDGCC and the support of relevant government departments and local organizations to push innovators to draw up proposals and become successful entrepreneurs. The event included expert sessions by YouthNet on building ecosystem for technology innovators and startups. And now it's when the news. Here are the main points again. Protem Speaker Mhathung Yanthan calls meeting to finalise provisional programme for first session of the 14th NLA. CANSSEA seeks scrapping of the new pension scheme. Fast-track court in Dimapur sentences a man to 20 years rigorous imprisonment for rape of a minor girl. An additional Director General, AIR and DT Northeast Zone, Ashish Bhatnagar, urges AIR Kohima to innovatively come out with power pack programs. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.